Bella Burton, Elizabeth Jones, Jane Doe, John Reese, the case of you four Speluncean explorers has been brought in front of us today. You have been accused of murder upon your fellow companion, Roger Wetmore, to thus consume his flesh. We have analysed the facts for this case in great detail. The Supreme Court of Newgarth finds you...
Wait, play that again?
Thus consume his flesh.
Who are the Speluncean explorers?
Specializes in killing and eating human flesh.
The case of the Speluncean explorers.
Thank you so very much for coming.
It's been 17 days in the rescue.
Bella Burton is rumoured to be trapped.
And that's because it's about killing. Roger Wetmore has died at the age of 23 of
Breaking news! This is the case of the Speluncean explorers.
It's a case that has swept the nation, or rather, the globe. A father and an honest worker, John Reese. A teenage girl, where it's not just a phase, Elizabeth Jones. One of the biggest celebrities of our time, Bella Burton. The cameraman who wishes to remain anonymous, Andrew Smith. And a young man, the deceased, Roger Wetmore. Together, they were part of the Speluncean Society, a society dedicated to caves.
We're all very different people here. The only thing we have in common is caves. I mean, for Christ's sake. Bella bloody Burton, isn't it? You have to love it though. There's no way on God's green earth that I can call myself one of them after all this shambles. After they ate someone.
On the island of Newgarth, 5 explorers, 1 dead, 4 alive. Rather, 1 eaten. The law is not black and white. How do we separate the right from wrong? When the Speluncean explorers got trapped for days in the cave, anything could have happened. The team began making their way to their brand new cave discovery, taking enough food to last them the day, unaware of what is to come.
We are here cave exploring with the Speluncean Society. We're here with Roger Wetmore. He's just kind of here. John Reese, the future president of our beloved society. And then this weirdo, Elizabeth.
They did not enter the cave with the intention of eating someone. They were taken to court, tried by a judge and jury. At the trial, a lawyer asked the court about a special verdict, leaving it to the court to decide whether they were guilty. The judge found them guilty of murdering Roger Wetmore.
Execution is not the solution.
The judge sentenced 3 explorers to the death penalty, except Liz, the teenager.
Why kill people who kill people? To show Americans that killing people is wrong.
But this wasn't the end.
After the release of the jury, them and the judge began asking the chief executive that the sentence be commuted to an imprisonment of 6 months. As yet, no action with respect to these pleas had been taken, as the chief executive is apparently awaiting out disposition.
It is now up to the Supreme Court to decide their fate, starting with the Chief Justice.
It's an extraordinary case, not many like it. Never has a case stormed the media before, not just because of the case's details, but we have a child, a celebrity. I mean, when you look closely, it's very interesting the dynamics that these people had between them.
I just think you need talent, and if you got talent, you should be in higher up positions. That's all I got to say on that.
It becomes quite apparent that Wetmore and Reese had a sort of feud between them about who is to become the president of their Speluncean Society. Of course, we won't let that distract us from the facts of the case.
I know, I don't look like it, but I really do like cave exploring. I don't really like these people though. Like they don't really understand, you know. I'm gonna post this to my 20 million Instagram followers.
I love my Speluncean Society. Is it on? I actually used to come here with my grandfather, so I sort of know these caves like the back of my hand.
Well, yeah, I'm a vegetarian, so yeah, I love animals. But I feel like you can't really appreciate it until you realize.
No.
Well, are you
Natural
vegetarian?
No.
I was vegan for 6 months too.
You know, actually, I think that understanding the true process of life is much better than just like buying some cheap knockoff fatty stuff, you know?
You're literally an emo. No offense.
Oh look, we're here.
We made it, buddy.
The signs are right there, and I mean that literally, but then again, it's their job, their profession is taking risks, and they never failed before. I don't blame them for taking scant provisions.
This is why we join the Speluncean Society, to see beauties of nature like this.
In a case like this, the principle of executive clemency seems admirably suited to mitigate the rigours of the law, and I propose to my colleagues that we follow the example of the jury and the trial judge by also addressing the chief executive. The language of our statute is well known. Whoever shall wilfully take the life of another shall be punished by death. This statute permits no exception applicable to this case. However, our sympathies may incline us to make allowance for this tragic situation, so I affirm the conviction. There is every reason to believe that these requests for clemency will be heeded. If this is done, then justice will be accomplished without impairing either the letter or the spirit of our statutes and without offering any encouragement for the disregard of the law. It seems to me that in dealing with this extraordinary case, the jury and the trial judge followed a course that was not only fair and wise, but the only course that was open to them under the law. I hope my fellow brothers and sisters will feel the same way.
The only course? I'm shocked that the Chief Justice proposed this.
Judge Foster is a benevolent woman, but a leader in judicial reform. Justice Keene, infamous for the opposite, a well-respected man within the law.
This executive clemency she talks about.
She's talking about mercy, asking the president for mercy.
Who does she think she is? Shawn Mendes?
Justice Handy is a national favourite.
The most crucial fact in this case, my sisters and brothers have covered under their robes. That the chief executive might refuse to pardon these men. My husband's niece's boyfriend's grandmother is an intimate friend of his, secretary. I think he won't pardon them if they were found guilty. Obviously, I don't like relying on gossips for important stuff, but you gotta do what you gotta do.
And finally, Justice Tatting. Wise yet undecisive.
As a justice, I'm usually able to dissociate the emotional and intellectual sides of my reactions, but not this time.
The law is on trial here, as well as these unfortunate explorers. The Chief Justice is trying to escape the embarrassment of this tragic case. Our positive law is inapplicable here. This case is governed by the law of nature.
An unprecedented landslide occurred. The explorers were trapped with only a few resources and a video camera.
John, are you okay?
Yes, I'm here. I'm okay.
Hello. If we look to the premises of underlying or positive law, this tragic case was so far away from our legal order, it's as if they were 1,000 miles away. Literally, they were separated from our courts by a curtain of rock.
Hello?
Roger? Roger, are you awake?
Betty?
It's Bella.
I really can't feel my legs, guys.
Stop it! You're kicking me!
I think we're trapped.
Wait, I can't get any Wi-Fi.
Oh, shut up!
What?
It's not the time, is it though?
Foster's uncertainties produce real difficulties. Suppose someone had their 21st birthday while trapped. On what date would they become adult? On their birthday or only when they were released from the cave and became again subject to what my sister calls positive law.
The reason for a law ceases, the law itself ceases to exist.
What a topsy-turvy and odious code Foster proposes. It is a code that overrides the law of murder, a code that people may make for their fellows to eat their body, a code where you may make an agreement but cannot withdraw.
Turn that off. Don't record that.
Oh my god, this isn't the time! Oh my
Guys, shush! Right.
Oh my god!
Everyone quiet! It's going to be okay.
It doesn't matter if what they did was right or wrong. A judge is sworn to apply not his morality, but the law of the land. Did they willfully take the life of another? Yes. My brothers and sisters do not like that the written law requires the conviction. Neither do I. But unlike them, I respect the law.
We're not getting anything done sitting around here. We need to go deeper. We need to... There might be another way out.
Yeah, let's just get stuck deeper in the cave.
You don't know that. You don't know that's gonna happen. What's our alternative? Sit here shouting for the rest of our lives? Help!
Oh my
Help! Help! Betty!
Let's assume that the law has the power to affect these starving people. There was no other choice. Our law needs reform as this was not its purpose.
What's the food, guys? Beans? Beans? I'm a celebrity. I can't live on beans. I have 20 million Instagram followers. I can't live on beans. I'm a celebrity.
We've all gotta live off beans.
I can't. You want some sweet corn?
On day 18, they ran out of food.
My sister Foster just loves finding holes in statutes. It reminds me of an ancient story of a man who ate a pair of shoes. Asked how he liked them, he replied, his favorite part was the holes. In short, she doesn't like statutes and loves judicial reform. She finds some single purpose, discovers that a mythical legislator is trying to achieve its purpose, left some gap or imperfection, and then she wants to fill in the blank. If we do not know the purpose of Clause 12a, how can we possibly say there is a gap in it? How can we know what its draftsman thought about the question of killing men in order to eat them?
I haven't eaten.
None of us have eaten. None of us have eaten.
I haven't eaten anything. You've eaten.
Stop it, Roger. No, we haven't. Grow up.
I haven't eaten. I'm vegetarian.
Then who ate my sweet corn?
We have no sweet corn. You see?
We
have no rations. We have no nothing. We are scared.
I have a tin of sweet corn.
Jesus Christ.
I have a tin of sweet corn. It was you leaf muncher.
It wasn't me. It had traces of meat.
It's okay, Bella. I believe you. We all just need to stay.
La 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 la. La 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 la.
I'm just shocked at what my brothers and sisters are putting themselves through for a simple case. I never cease to wonder at my colleagues' ability to throw a bucket of legalism everywhere for every single issues.
Hi guys, it's Bella Burton here. Today we're cave exploring, but we got trapped in a landslide. I'm here with the Speluncean Society. I'm currently eating beans and water.
Does she have service?
This live is sponsored by EE Network. Even in stuck in a landslide, I've got 5G.
This case has got so much public interest everywhere. Almost every newspaper, magazine, social media are talking about it. #SaveBella has blown up everywhere.
Guys,
please use the hashtag #SaveBella on Twitter. And please donate. We don't know how long we're going to be stuck here and supplies are running low. I don't know how long I'll make it. Thanks guys, see you next time.
The Guardian conducted a nationwide poll on the question, what do you think the Supreme Court should do with the Speluncean explorers? And 90% think they are not guilty.
90% believe they should be pardoned or given a token punishment. 90.
I never said this decision would be easy. Bella is famous. Of course, it will get backlash. A hard decision is never a popular decision. But I believe that judicial dispensation does more harm in the long run than hard decisions.
Thanks for the love, you guys. Hashtag save Bella. Hashtag save Bella. Hashtag free Bella.
Save Bella.
See, even the goth thinks so.
I knew they would be horrified by me. They said that the public opinion is emotional and capricious. But look at the reality of a criminal law. Someone accused of a crime can escape outside of a judge, the prosecutor not charging, acquittal by a jury, or an executive pardon. You're telling me all these have no errors and feelings. If there wasn't a lawyer in the jury, of course the jury wouldn't twisted the letter of the law more than any of us.
On day 20, the explorers finally managed to get in contact with the ones desperate
hello?
to save them.
Hello? Hello? I can hear you. I can hear you.
Give the phone to me.
Who's this? Save us! I don't have long before the signal cuts out.
Please!
Look, we don't know how long it's going to take. I know.
Please!
Please! The rescuers, they didn't make it.
They didn't make it?
Yeah, they didn't make it.
Sorry, they didn't shake it?
They didn't make it. It's gonna be at least 20 more days. I'm sorry, we're doing everything we can.
Please tell my son I love him. Hello?
Hello?
People were killed trying to remove the rocks from the cave. Did the engineer not know this was a serious risk?
£800,000 were spent on trying to save the explorers, but the landslide was too heavy. 10 workmen died in the process. The tragedy had become even more widespread.
We are inclined to think of human life as an absolute value, but it has never worked like this. Every highway, tunnel, building we make involves a risk to human life. If this can be said for normal society, what about the desperate situation these people found themselves in? If we can accept 10 lives being sacrificed to save 5, why is it wrong to save 4 lives at the cost of 1?
She has a point. She has a point.
5 minutes later.
My sister Foster's opinion is full of fallacies. She says that they were not in a state of civil society, but in a state of nature. When did this occur? Was it when the entrance to the cave was blocked, or when the threat of starvation reached intensity?
8 hours later, the doctor momentarily got in contact.
Please calm down. I'm Dr. Jones. I need to know how much food you have left.
Well, we did have a tin of sweet corn and some water.
For the 10 days you have left, that might not last you.
Hello? What do we do?
Rush me.
What do we do?
Bottle cap.
The call ended.
We have heard the distinction between positive law, the law of nature, the language of the statute, and the purpose of the statute, judicial function, and the executive functions. What have all these things to do with the case? We just need to decide what to do with the defendants. Practical wisdom. It's easy.
Guys, have you seen the last bottle of water? Is it in there? No.
Found it.
Roger! That is our last bottle of water!
John, do you want some water?
No, you guys need it more than me.
Of course it is uncomfortable watching them suffer. If I were the chief executive, I would pardon them. But I say this as a private citizen, not as a judge. I'm controlled by the law, despite their hard-goings.
Of course, the explorer did something that violates the statute that says whoever shall willfully take the life of another is a murderer. But one of the most ancient bits of legal wisdom in natural law is the saying that a man may break the letter of the law without breaking the law itself.
She thinks she knows exactly what was sought when we made murder a crime. That was deterrence. I doubt very much whether our statute making murder a crime really has a purpose. It just reflects a deeply felt human conviction that murder is wrong.
One of the few objects that were put into evidence were a pair of dice, but they chose to determine their fate. Whoever threw the smallest number would be eaten.
Check your pockets, check your pockets.
There is no way. That is what you're thinking.
I mean, do you want to live? Do you want to survive? This is like the only way we have to do this.
I'm a vegetarian. I have been all my
I don't
life.
care if you're a vegetarian, alright? Someone here is going to die, and those dice are going to tell us who.
It's us. -1, or it's none of us.
I'd rather die than eat meat, never mind a human.
Well, that's not how we feel.
You know what? Let's see how Roger's big plan works out.
The Commonwealth versus Staymore.
Staymore was convicted under a statute that makes it a crime to leave your car parked in certain areas over 2 hours. He tried to remove his car, but couldn't because of a protest happening on the road. Therefore, his conviction was set aside by this court.
It's a perfect example of not having to follow the letter of the law when it doesn't work.
Commonwealth v. Valjean.
Jean Valjean was convicted of larceny of a loaf of bread. His defense was that he was in a condition approaching starvation. The court refused to accept this defense.
If hunger cannot justify the theft of food, how can it justify the killing and eating of a man? If you look at it in terms of deterrence, is it likely that a man will starve to death to avoid jail sentence for the theft of a loaf of bread? Foster compels us to overrule many precedents.
This time I pick up the phone. Doctor?
Yes, it is.
It is Dr. Jones.
Doctor, would we survive if we ate human flesh? If one of us was eaten by the others, would the others survive?
Is this a joke?
No, we're desperate, please. You told us we're gonna die.
I apologize. I cannot answer your question. I cannot.
Then put me on with a priest or a minister.
I'll put you through to the minister.
Please.
It is I, the minister.
Hello, Father. Is it wrong to throw a dice to make it fair? To choose who to eat?
A dice? God bless.
I'm afraid I can't answer that question.
Please, Father, answer us, please.
Just pray.
Pray.
The group's already little chemistry began to break down as hunger approached. Expectedly, mental health was beginning to deteriorate, especially Bella's.
My phone's on 2%. My hair's falling out. I don't have any makeup. I don't have any signal.
Bella!
It's Bella! Yeah.
She's lost it.
I need
They
to
were left to decide for themselves.
There is always a cry of judicial usurpation. The stupidest housemaid knows that when she is told to peel the soup and stir the potatoes, that's not what was meant. Surely we can expect the same intelligence from the judiciary. The correction of obvious legislative oversights is to make legislative will effective.
The more I think about the case, my mind becomes entangled in the meshes of the very nets I throw for my own rescue. When I want to accept Foster's view, I am repelled by our sound intelligence. On the other hand, when I want to affirm the conviction, I'm struck by the absurdity of putting these people to death when their lives will have been saved at the cost of 10 heroic workmen.
You cannot simply apply a statute as it is written and remake it to meet your own wishes at the same time. I feel deeply that my colleagues are insufficiently aware of the dangers implicit in the conceptions of the judicial office advocated by Foster.
We have heard the distinction between positive law, the law of nature, the language of the statute, and the purpose of the statute, judicial function, and the executive functions. What have all these things to do with the case? We just need to decide what to do with the defendants. Practical wisdom. It's easy.
Day 23 was the turning point for the group, especially for Roger.
Are we sure about doing it now?
What do you mean?
Do we have to do it now? Can we wait? They could be here tomorrow.
Well, they could be here in a month. They could be here in a
Be here
year.
tomorrow. You can't force me. We don't have to do this.
No, but we
I
do.
was gonna eat meat
Think
for you, and I'm a
about it.
vegetarian.
I need to eat!
I knew this was gonna happen, but then again, Roger, this was your idea.
Nah, I can't do it. You'll force me to do it. I don't care. If we're not all in it, it's not happening.
Is any one of you in trouble? He should pray. Is anyone happy? Let him sing the songs of praise. Is any one of you sick? He should call the elders of the church to pray over him and anoint him with oil in the name of the Lord.
Read the statute intelligently. It does not apply. It won't deter any group of people in the same tragedy. Their decision to live or die will not be controlled by the law.
Where does the line lie? Here the group threw a dice, and the victim himself originally agreed. What if Wetmore refused from the beginning to participate in the plan? Would a majority overrule him? Or suppose they were all atheists and insisted that Wetmore should die because he was the only person who believed in an afterlife? I realize that I'm creating problems that will ever arise. Yet, do my demonstration not show the lack of rationality in my sister's proposal?
These explorers have already suffered more torment and humiliation than most of us would endure in 1,000 years.
We have come to the University of Oxford to speak to Professor Bagshaw for an expert opinion on the outcome.
So you want to know my opinion? My opinion is pretty close to the Chief Justice's opinion. And so my reason for that is because I think that when judges decide a case, they produce a rule. And producing a rule for a very special situation like this one is a dangerous activity. Better to have a rule that covers a wider range of situations, like the straightforward murder rule, and then deal with the truly exceptional situations by means of something like executive pardon. To get an executive pardon, of course, you have to have a decision or have a reason for pardon that the great majority of the state will stand behind. And so it's slightly different from formulating a rule. So my view, go with the Chief Justice. This is a conviction, but perhaps the executive will decide that enough people support the case for a pardon.
I think that they should be acquitted because given that they used a random dice to choose who it was, I believe that it could have been any of them, and the fact that they put themselves at risk for the safety of the other people that they were with, and they all made the same promise to each other, I think that it's fair that they did what they did, and so they should not face any repercussions after the fact.
We visit the explorers on their last day before finding out their fate, except Andrew, the filmmaker. He is nowhere to be found. Bella is confined to her room.
My life, my followers. Roger, we are gathered here today to mourn the loss of my best friend, Roger Wetmore. Scripture tells us, sorrow not, for you do not walk alone. I used to be famous. I used to have it all. I used to be a vegan. Vegan. No one will understand. No one. I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a choice. Roger wasn't famous. He was a bit ugly, to be honest. But he was my friend. I'm young and beautiful. I don't want to die. 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 Hashtag save Bella. Save Bella. Hashtag save Bella. Please, guys, save Bella.
Liz has converted.
So I've thought a lot about what I did and how I've acted. Well, I think I've just decided to repent, and Jesus Christ is now my Lord and Savior. This is my church. Ever since we ate Roger, I can like feel his spirit like all just like throughout me. Like Roger's like with me, you know? And like God forgave me for that, and I have repented and I am with him. Just like Roger is. And I pray every single day that to never let Satan possess my soul again. Lord, as much as I miss kids. Love you, Jesus. I love you, Jesus. You give me reason.
Roger is reminiscing.
I regret it. I really do. I wonder if I was not doing it. Roger was really a good friend of mine. My life worth more than Roger's? I don't know. The way I'm gonna pay for tomorrow. I came here where all it began, to find the sign for closure, but I regret I couldn't. I would like to be left alone right now, please. Please, no more camera. Thank you.
For the public, the Supreme Court decision has arrived. For the explorers, the day of judgment has come. There has to be a majority for the death penalty to be lifted.
You can't be serious.
I'm sorry, we need to reach. This
Can't
was
be
your
serious.
idea in the
You
first
can't be
place.
serious.
Oh God. Oh God.
They sacrificed him.
They ate him.
They killed him.
They survived because of him.
They had been found guilty of murdering Roger Wetmore. I affirm the conviction.
Set aside the conviction.
I agree with the Chief Justice, of course.
The conviction and sentence should all be set aside. They are innocent.
I can't do it. I can't. I declare my withdrawal from the decision of this case.
What do you think should happen to the Speluncean explorers?